From the cutthroat world of big business boardrooms to the shady underbelly of crime, Shakedown Hawaii builds on V-Blank Entertainment's Retro City Rampage, a game we thoroughly enjoyed. We've been looking forward to this sandbox, Grand Theft Auto inspired title that's been long in the making. But does it deliver? I'm James Amero and this is SwitchWatch. Let's jump in and find out. Shakedown Hawaii follows the story of an aging CEO and founder of Feeble Multinational. He and his business are a relic of the past. Having made his fortune over 30 years ago from a book deal and running legacy businesses like video rental stores and taxi companies, he faces bankruptcy as the world has passed him by. Online streaming, online shopping, and ride-sharing apps have all eaten away at his business. The story unfolds through three major characters: the CEO himself, his good-for-nothing son, and a business consultant with shady skills. The story is hilarious and well written. It pokes fun by spoofing the real world and the ridiculous nature of modern advertising, gaming, commerce, and many other aspects of the world we live in. It's told through the CEO's cynical viewpoint and his determination to become successful again, which is balanced by his younger son's acceptance of things the way they are, such as accepting that everything is a subscription these days, or the fact that everything is purchased on credit, for example. It's carefully crafted and holds a mirror to society without being preachy. I was impressed with the pace. Yes, it's an open world adventure, but if you follow the game's main quests, you are thrown from one situation to another quickly. As the CEO, not every idea you have is successful. You see things and react, and many fail, but the desire to succeed, combined with your ever-increasing slide into crime, creates great scenarios told with humour and in good style. It won't take you long to head down the path of wanton destruction, racketeering, murder, misadvertising and blackmail, yet somehow you end up liking the game's main characters. The game plays like the first couple of Grand Theft Autos with a top-down view and an open world to explore. As a failing businessman, your goal is to take over the island piece by piece through story-driven missions, side missions, and by shaking down 200 businesses for protection money. Both legitimate business endeavours and shady ones alike are here and rife for the taking. Like any good sandbox title though, you can just drive around and cause mayhem, discover secrets, and get up to no good. The controls are nice and simple. The left stick moves you around and the right stick aims at enemies. It will lock onto them and shoot or hit them. In a vehicle, they are free roam, guided by a single stick in any direction, and boy oh boy are they quick. I found myself continuing to play the story after the first few missions and only deviated to shake down nearby businesses. More on those in a minute. Each mission will see you control one of the game's three characters. These story-driven quests are varied, everything from hijacking a coffee van to boost your coffee shop's margins to burning down all the shops in an area so that you can swoop in and build a development. Each mission is nice and short and interesting. One of the symptoms of this type of game for me in the past is that I end up leaving the main storyline and driving around spending plenty of time on side quests. Whilst that's good fun, it means that you can end up deviating from the story too far and just not really feeling that invested, not picking up the thread when you get back to it. The game does a very good job of crafting quests that lead into another, and the layout is such that you can step out, do a few shakedowns or challenges without losing your place in the story arc. The game is not particularly difficult. There are some challenging quests and some of the shakedowns are tough, but in general this game can be enjoyed for what it is, a fun adventure or a nice open world to get lost in. The world is well crafted and balanced across all activities. Completing missions boosts your business's footprint and working capital, and this forms the backbone of progress. The quests are comical. You spread your tendrils widely to gain money and will do everything from investing in coffee shops by muscling out the competition and cutting corners to starring in a battle royale type TV program. In one mission you aim to invigorate your failing cola company by rebranding it as Gaming Cola, only to find out that you've accidentally live streamed the whole advert in which your actor commented on how gross the drink was worldwide. In another mission you jump on the green bandwagon and cut out straws to save the environment, though really your aim is simply to cut costs. Driving around will lead you to shakedowns. These small missions see you don a costume to hide your identity and scare the business into paying you protection monies. In this way, the side missions and shakedowns also add to your business portfolio and the main goals. At first, the shakedowns are a blast, but as there are 80 of them, you'll begin to see the same type play out again. Generally, there are ones in which you beat up the staff, others in which you hand out flyers that falsely drag the company down, and a few other recurring patterns. The cars are great fun to drive, and there are also boats on offer. You can take one back to your garage to store it, just like in Grand Theft Auto. You can customise your characters by giving them different haircuts, accessories, costumes and more, though they don't unfortunately carry over to the cutscenes. The game even makes a reference poking fun at this. The business system is surprisingly deep. With so many businesses to acquire, you level up unlocking new perks and upgrades, such as the ability to boost all revenues in businesses by offering loyalty cards or other features. Typically these are quite hilarious and are a bit of a scam. There is a lot to do, but it doesn't bog you down in the detail, and ultimately playing the game in any which way will lead you to the same result. The game borrows other things from GTA as well. There are respray garages when you need to escape the police, and coins that you can find to reduce your heat. In general, I found the police quite easy to evade no matter what crazy carnage you get up to, perhaps a little bit too easy for my liking. The weapons on offer are nice. You have Uzis, shotguns, baseball bats, flamethrowers and grenades, which are my personal favourites. The little details make the game. Most things in the environment can be interacted with. You can pick up chairs or enemies alike and smash stores to pieces. There's a night and day system, and all of these things add up to make for a place in which you feel a part of. Not to mention that until you die, everything that you've done to interact with the environment will stay in the game. Outside of the main campaign, there are arcade challenges for quick pick up and play sessions and free roam, which feels a little pointless in such an open game, to be honest. All of these gameplay elements are held together with the business empire building theme. Owning more businesses will let you buy more guns or buy cool clothes, give you more cash to invest in, and this package together is an addictive environment and never loses its humour throughout. Music grabs you right from the off. Before you even jump into the game, the 16-bit chiptunes are pumping from the title screen. It's a sign of things to come. The audio score is fantastic, and it's one of the best parts to this game. Each synth track is perfectly crafted and fits in with the retro style. The game's set in the current times, but you can clearly see its roots in the 80s. The finer details show. Menu sounds and weapon fire have an arcade-like quality that works well and gives you that hit of nostalgia. I like these little touches. Get into a car and you can change the radio stations to find your favourite tracks, and get a car with nitro and the boost sounds great when you activate it. The amount of art on show is impressive. The graphics are far superior to Retro City Rampage. This time around we have 16-bit visuals, but movement is fluid. In cars, for example, you have full motion rather than the 8 directions, which is a really solid addition for gameplay and must mean a huge number of sprites have been created. I love the cutscenes. These snippets come up often and look gorgeous. The style combines retro 80s colours but in a more modern setting, and it works well. Characters have personality that shines through in these scenes. In-game, the island itself is of course fairly repetitive, but there's enough variation to keep it feeling lived in. You have beaches, cityscapes, grass and various other things on offer. Each weapon, car and NPC looks good, as well as the backgrounds themselves. If I was to nitpick, there aren't quite as many unique settings in cars as I would like. Whilst drawn well, things are a little bit small, so there's not a huge amount of detail purely because of the small number of pixels used for these items, but the detail is crammed into this small space as much as possible, and I have to appreciate that it's not easy to create. One highlight for me were the consultants' missions in jungles and farmland settings. They really stood out. Ultimately, this is another pixelated affair. There are so many games of this style now, and it's not going to be for everyone, but for me, personally, it works well with this top-down gameplay. On the move, the sizing still works well, and performance is solid, whether docked or on the move, which is quite impressive for quite a large game. The game comes in at £17.99 in the UK or $19.99 in the US for the digital version. A physical release is in the works, it has been confirmed, but we expect it to be out in a couple of months. It's one of those games that is at the top end of indie titles in terms of accomplishment and polish. The effort that has gone into making the soundtrack, artwork and most importantly an enjoyable game experience really does show. This is not a short game, and due to its open nature, you can enjoy it outside of the main campaign, but there is not a lot to bring you back. There's no multiplayer or online, for example, meaning that this is a title to enjoy and then shelve, and to be honest, I'm okay with that. Shakedown Hawaii is a worthy successor to Retro City Rampage. It steps up in every department and delivers a fun and mischievous experience that is great to play. It neatly combines sandbox empire building with fun action in the style of early Grand Theft Auto games. The result is excellent. It's an 8.5 out of 10 for me, a solid all-round experience worth playing. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you want a different take on open world games, we'll see you on Jordan's Saint Roan III gameplay. You can click on that at the top right hand corner and we'll see you there. Take care.